Welcome back to Peak Speed Lab 164. I'm Strick. I'm back from the trip, and we're back here at the lab where gravity and mass meet friction, and the ramp decides the results. And I'm super psyched. I'm super stoked. If you haven't subscribed or liked, well, you can like it later or now, whatever, but definitely subscribe now. Hit that subscribe button like you're hitting the accelerator because we got this is up. This is up. If you guys want to see how this is working, well, you can stick with the video. This is one of the faster than evers. This is the 70 Chevy Chevelle, and it's so fast. Oh, look at how, oh my goodness, look at that. That just was crazy. Whoa, and then it's back. See how I did that? The magic, the magic. Anyway, this is the faster than ever. This was a line that was recommended by C. Malakowski. Oh, look at that. So fast, can't even stay in my hands. It's just crazy. Anyway, faster than ever. We're about to get to it so you can see what it's all about. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit. We're going to do the unboxing. Then we're going to do the measurements, the track, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, stick around because this thing looks like it's going to be fast. I can't wait to see it. All right. Okay, those are my own, yeah, you guys know. You know what's up. Anyway, here's what it looks like straight on. 70 Chevelle, faster than ever. You can see this here. Also here, we've got, this was about, like I said in an earlier video, about 15 bucks on Amazon. This is a nice looking convertible. We got this info on the back. 70 Detroit, Michigan, General Motors. Muscle car with extra punch. This drop top was made for maximum versatility and huge horsepower. I'm trying to hold it in. It's wanting to go. See that? It's like oh yeah, and then we've got the look for the all the 2010 vehicles, new models every month. I know these came out also earlier than 2010, but this must have been a batch that that did its thing. So, here we go. I'm super stoked. We are doing the unboxing, bottom right. See if this works again. Oh, look at that. I was able to get that puncture in there a little bit, but I don't want to. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I know. This is still smoother, but I inverted said tearing, it looks like. Okay, boom. We're getting there. We're getting there. A little more tough, but this does feel like it is got a different kind of adhesive as I'm opening this up. Okay, here we go, man. Oh man, we're about to look at this thing. Look at those. Well, I used to call them mag wheels because I didn't know. I thought mag meant really wide. Mag meant rims were like magnesium. So all those years growing up, this is kind of like the kind of cars we loved. The muscle cars, easy to work on. But it's like, oh man, look at that. I'm barely even hit that thing and it's going. All right, we're getting the all-around view. Looks kind of cool. We've got top because this is a convertible, so you're gonna be able to see some of these details in here. Nice little racing stripe across the top of that. And then is this Malaysia? Actually, I don't know. We'll take a look. This is Malaysia. I wasn't sure if since this was a faster than ever, if that's where it was going to be made by. Anyway, look at how shiny. Although that does feel like plastic. I remember reading something about these. The axles are definitely made of something else, and now I don't remember. Was it brushed titanium that made them reduce the friction? Well, regardless, we're about to find out if this thing is going to live up to the hype that I've been putting up in my head, because I have been really looking forward to getting this bad boy here on the track. Oh, oh, looks like we got some. I don't know if that's because of the table or not, but okay. Well, the front tires are spinning pretty good. The rear tires, I don't know, not so much, but maybe it'll react differently on the track. First things first, though, let's get it measured up. So we just finished the measurements of the 70 Chevelle here. and this is the faster than ever. Sometimes I'll do like a fast motion, or I'll show the progression of the measurements as we go. Sometimes we'll just skip over it because I know I don't know how interested folks are actually seeing that process, but I'm going to go over, because this is a faster than ever, something I was looking forward to. I'm going to run over all of the stats here real quick so we can see how we do before we head over to the short form drag strip. So we've got the 70 Chevelle, as I mentioned. The weight is 36.3 grams. So it puts it flat, like almost dead center in the C weight class, which is where most of the cars have been falling weight-wise. We're calling this closed wheel, factory fresh, made in Malaysia, stock, because this came out, I ordered it new or in packet. And I didn't do anything to it. We just opened it. We're gonna go with what we have. The wheelbase was 1.804 inches, which works out to be about 45.82 millimeters. We've got the front hub to hub 0.651 inches, or 16.54 millimeters. We've got the rear hub to hub 0.0, excuse me, point 0.5965, which is about 15.15 millimeters. Then front tire width is 0.2015, so 5.12 millimeters. The rear tire width is 0.2075, which works out to be 5.27 millimeters, so 0.0275 of an inch. So the first one is fractions of the inch, and then the millimeters. I'm sure in case anybody just tuned in or wasn't following. So we have the diameter. So this is where it's going to get a little bit more, and that is because the front is 0.426 of an inch. We're at and 10.82 millimeters. Rear tire is 0.49 of an inch, 0.49, or 12.45 millimeters. So body width, so we always measure it at the widest point for the width, was 1 inch, 1.2195, and in 30.98 millimeters. The length, again, we can count for everything that's in that part of the length. On this car, there's no scoop or spoiler, but if there was and they were sticking past, we would include all that because it's the absolute width, or excuse me, length. 79.22 millimeters. So that was 3.119 of an inch, or 3.119 in inches, and then 79.22 millimeters. Ground clearance, always look for the lowest point. Sometimes it's the front, sometimes it's the side, sometimes, who knows. This one was just behind the front wheels, was the lowest point. So for the ground clearance, which is 0.135 or 3.43 millimeters. Now we'll look at the axle play. I've got the axle play of 0.0265 for the front axle. Now I convert that to millimeters because we have a tight, moderate, and loose rating. And I'm using, my rule of thumb is if it's under a millimeter, I consider that a tight axle play. Anything above that is mostly gonna be moderate. If there's something super extreme that has fallen way out of, like, I'm going, oh my gosh, I notice it as a loose, I'll use it as loose. Otherwise, it's moderate. But the axle play 0.0265 of an inch, and then millimeters 0.6731. So that was tight. But the rear axle play 0.05 or 1.27 millimeters, so that's moderate. So I'm going to expect to see maybe a little bit of a shimmy or a swim in the lane. We'll see. And then we do the center of gravity tipping scale, and it tipped at about 48.4 degrees, so under 50, which means it's got a pretty high center of gravity. I was pretty surprised because as a convertible, the way it feels in my hand, I was surprised that it was so top heavy. But that's why we measure, right? We got to measure, do it with data, so we know we're not making assumptions. And then, of course, base and tires are plastic. And as we know, plastic tires going to be faster on the track, most likely or typically, because there's less friction than there would be in rubber. Plus the tires after a while, plastic will maintain their shape, if you will, better than rubber. 'Cause sometimes rubber, depending on how it's sitting in the case or with temperature changes, there could be a little bit of a flatness that could happen, or a little bit of a, I was going to say distortion, but I don't know. There's another word I'm looking for, but if you think of what it is, if you can think about what it is, of what I'm thinking, then put it in the comments, please. Anyway, I think that's about it. We're getting ready to go. We're going to head over to the short form drag strip. We're going to run it through its 20 warm-ups to track its progression of slow and fastest laps. And then we'll do the 10 official laps now. So yeah, meet me over the track. It's just right over there. I'll see you over there in a sec. Thanks for joining me back here at the short form drag strip. We are just got everything set up with the pad, and then also tested the starting gate since it's been a few days since I've been here, and we've got this vehicle ready to go in its lane. So what do you say we get started? All right, I'm going to turn it around. We're going to make the 70 Chevy Chevelle faster than ever. The star, well, it is. That's what we're here for. Okay, so again, if you think about it, if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button like you want to hit that accelerator, and the likes, and keep it coming for folks who are interested. And we'll keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing it anyway, so you might as well just do it. All right, enough of my yak. Let's start lapping. Let's get it. And by getting it, I mean we're getting it. Lap 1 at 20. Woo! Let's see what we did. Let's see what we got. Okay, not as fast as I thought it was going to be. 1.930. I was hoping it was going to be in the 1.8 range to start, but maybe it needs to get a little warm up. Maybe that that rear shimmy is an issue. I don't know, but all right, we're gonna run it through the next 19 warm up laps, give it a chance to get warm, and then we'll be back for the 10. Stay tuned. Well, the car never got any slower. And it stayed relatively consistent. Fastest time for the warm-up was 1.844 seconds. So I don't know that that's going to beat the concept car or the high voltage cars, but she's got her 10 official runs now. We're going to see how she does, and let's get to it. All right, we're going to head back over to the beginning of the short form drag strip. Why don't you join me? Okay, right over there. All right, before we start, here's you go. The view of the short form drag strip. Also, thanks to a comment from another viewer, he requested that I do all the runs in regular motion, because I guess sometimes these runs go so fast that by the time you see the car go, it's over. And I've been doing laps 1 and 10 at regular speed, but folks like to watch the cars do their thing in the laps. This one's got a little bit of a swim to it. So we're going to do all 10 laps at regular speed, thanks to a viewer request. And I think it makes sense too, because as I'm going back and looking at the videos, I'm like, yeah, those are pretty fast. And if we have some interesting things that happen, maybe I'll do a little slow-mo, but we're going to, for the most part, regular speed. All right, we got the Chevelle in the lane. We like to make sure that they're centered as much as possible. And we are going to get a good vantage point so we can see how she does on her first official lap. .847. Okay, that's near one of the faster laps. We're gonna just keep going. 9 more. Okay, coming in for the last lap, lap 10. We've got the fastest lap so far at lap 7 of 1.842 seconds. And the slowest was 1.930, which was the very first lap of and it was of the warm up, of course. It never got any slower. Let's see if we could do one better than lap 7. Oh, there we go. That's it. Fastest lap. All right, warm-up laps. Very first lap, 1.930 seconds. And you see it just kept getting faster. The 10 official laps, we've got lap 7 at 1.842, which beat the fastest here. And then the very last lap, doink, 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 1.840. So we're going to put these in the database, plug them in, find out like the average. We're going to see how it compares within its weight class cohort and also overall. So we're going to head back right over there if you would like to join me. Hopefully you'll stick with me. All right, we'll be right back. What happened here? Uh-oh. Just had to give maybe is this why Batman and Robin showed up? No, they're coming to watch it. But hey, smash up derbies. That's what they're for. That's what they're about. Got a little slot car action as well. And of course, Batmobile. We got John Wick Mobile. That Mustang right there. And then the GTs, a couple Formula Ones, into the Lego, etc., etc. Okay, let's get back to the Chevy. Now we're heading back over there, like over there. Doink, 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 boom. Okay, welcome back to the other side of the lab here. Peak Speed Lab 164. Again, I'm Strick. Hope you hit that subscribe button, and by now you hit the like button too. Anyway, we've just finished entering in the stats here, or the results, I should say, of the official laps. Average was 1.8514. Again, I include all the details in the details section on the YouTubes. And so if you want to see the breakdown of the performance of all the cars, you'll see them in their weight class and then also overall, and then any other little tidbits that I like to include, depending on, the car itself or what happened, or if there were other issues or cool things. So definitely take a look at that description. But in the meantime, as always, we want to respect the folks involved in making these cars and enjoying, so that we can enjoy not only our childhood pastimes, but also in our adulthood. Gotta have fun as you get older. Let me tell you, you just got to. So this faster than ever Chevy Chevelle. We'll see how it compares to the other cars overall and in its weight class here in a bit. But again, take a look at the details if you really want to know. And hopefully you'll subscribe so you don't miss out on future cars. I just actually, as a teaser, placed an order for quite a few cars from different other manufacturers. A lot of manufacturers I'd never heard of that are in the 164 diecast arena. So, and one other note before we get going, because if you made it this far, you're cool, you're interested, you're hip, you're what it's about. Chris Hood, who made a suggestion about and I mentioned this in a previous video, like the mainline versus the set, to see if I can find the same kind of model car, but made in two different factories. So I've placed an order. I don't know if I'm going to get an exact match, but I've got a few that are coming that I'm hoping are gonna work out to where we can do this. Because like I said, well, I'm not going to, other than the high voltages, which I did the first two, I'm not going to do the same model from the same line, the same maker, the same, all the things, right? But if they're made in two different factories, even if they're in the same line and the same model and the whatever, that I'm interested in seeing. I know that there's going to be variance in between cars to cars, but I like to see like the difference in the other things. So I do have some makes and models that are going to be across the brands and across the releases. So like Silver Series versus your generic stuff versus your 64 special versus your whatever. So hopefully you'll stay tuned. You'll don't want to miss out on those. So again, if you haven't hit subscribe, you probably have if you've made it this far. Anyway, time to get this put this beauty on the lighted spinning pedestal. Let it do its thing so we can admire it, give it its moment of glory. I'm gonna try to time this right now. Oh, it's still wanting to go. Still wanting to go. All right, here we go. On to the pedestal in 3, 2, 1.
What?